Hello, everyone. I have been getting feedback from relatives and friends who are homeschooling their children. And the common thing they say, parang ako ang nag-aaral at parang bumalik ako sa pagiging estudyante. So, kumusta po kayo, moms and dads, mga tatay at nanay? Kaya pa ba? It has been 2 years since the widespread school closures, but parents are still adjusting to the new scenario. You acting as full time teachers at home. But this is understandable. Parents feel they don't have the knowledge to support their children with home learning. Some parents don't have time because they are working. But we have to face the reality that with the pandemic, we don't have a choice but to embrace distance learning. This video is for you, all parents out there na hanggang ngayon ay nalilito, nagugulumihanan, natatakot at natataranta kung paano ang mga tamang gawin sa paggabay at pagtuturo sa inyong mga anak sa inyong mga tahanan. This is creating a home learning environment, a guide to homeschooling for parents and guardians. Research shows that taking an interest in your child's learning can make a big difference to how well they do. Making your home a positive home learning environment plays a big part in this, no matter how old your child is. I repeat, no matter how old your child is. First, let's talk about our rules, but often left out. Pangunahin ngunit madalas hindi nabibigyan ng pansin. First, be interested in what they're doing. In a straightforward language, dapat po ay may pakialam tayo sa ginagawa ng mga anak natin. Be involved and hands-on. Then, reassure and encourage your children to do their best and that they can do it because they have your support and you are a team. Sunod po ay dapat nating maunawaan na nahihirapan din po ang mga bata sa ganitong setup. Nakararanas din sila ng anxiety at stress. In general, may pinanggagalingan po ang katamaran at kawalan ng interes sa pag-aaral. Most children could not express their feelings, but parents should know how to assess. So, communication is vital. The time that your family spends talking together is very important for your child's development and well-being. When finally you have understood the basic rules in creating a positive home learning environment, it is time for you to get organized. How? Number one, create a space for your kids to study. Regardless how big or small your house is, it is important to create a designated space for learning for them to complete schoolwork. It builds consistent study habits, develops a routine and organization, and it accommodates all the learning materials and equipment your child needs. In my opinion po, the best study space is with a desk or a table, most especially when the kids are attending online classes. Not, I repeat, not on a bed or on a very soft and comfortable couch or sofa. Yes, comfort is a key, but not to make them feel sleepy and inactive. Here are the tips how to create a space. Choose an area with the least amount of distractions. Speak to other members of the family, particularly the younger children, about respecting this study area and as far as possible ask them to try to avoid interrupting. Keep the area, most especially the table, neat. Research shows that a clean, organized environment produces better focus and boosts productivity. If possible, the table is fronting a window for natural lighting. And like what I said earlier, it should be comfortable but not too comfy and also well lit. And make sure that they have everything that they need, such as pens, pencils, paper, notebooks, books, etc., and are within easy reach to prevent any unnecessary distractions. Parents, personalize your child's learning space by adding decorations, artwork, or anything that makes them feel good at para po sila ganahan mag-aral. It is Definitely a motivation for them. You can check some creative and inspiring study area designs in the internet considering your budget. Another tip that I can give you is to leave post-it notes to your child's desk before the day starts. Show them your encouragement and support through special notes. It is a small but simple gesture that will remind your children that they are doing a good job, and it may put a smile on their face. Use these notes especially on days when you know your child may have a tougher time. Surely it will brighten their day. Number two, you can also facilitate learning in the other parts of your house. If your child is doing offline activities or homework, and if your kid is the type who gets easily bored, then try teaching the lessons outside his or her study space. Your kitchen, garden, and even the dining room can all become venues of learning. For example, you can teach fractions by allowing your kid to help with baking or cooking. Or you can teach biology in your backyard to give your child a first-hand encounter with the living things outside your home. These activities do not necessarily require tables to work with, and you can create an opportunity for bonding times. Number three, use a schedule to create a routine. Your kids should know when and what they'll be learning each day. Dapat alam nila kailan dapat mag-focus at kailan pwede mag-relax. Also, kids need structure, and schedules achieve this. When children know what to expect each day, they experience comfort in the routine, and they can even begin to work independently after adjusting to the rhythm of a school day in your home. Here are some tips that can help you with scheduling. Adhere to the online and offline schedules provided by the school. Make sure your children join their classes on time so that they won't miss any parts of the lesson. Have them begin and end at the same time every day. If possible, use a timer to indicate the change of classes or subjects. It's also important to provide breaks for lunch and to simply stretch their legs and to rest their eyes. I suggest too that there's a printout or a physical copy of the schedule that is posted in the study area that you and your child can see easily. It also means that you don't have to stress about forgetting to do something because you'll always have that list to refer back to. Okay. Isang bagay po na maganda sa homeschooling ay ang flexibility na ang ibig sabihin po ay maaari kayong gumawa ng schedule ayon sa inyong oras at pangangailangan. Halimbawa po sa offline or asynchronous activities na tinatawag, pwede nyo pong i-arrange ang tasks according to levels of difficulty. But ideally, inuuna po ang mahirap na gawain bago yung madadali. And on some days, if you have multiple children, you can do tasks together. Halimbawa po, kung ang isa sa inyong mga anak ay may homework sa science at kailangan ng observation about plants and animals, maaari po itong gawin sa isang park o sa inyong sariling backyard na kasama ang iba pa ninyong mga anak at hayaan silang gumawa ng iba't ibang activities. While one is observing and taking notes, the other children could draw or take pictures. And when you return home, there can be sharing of ideas. Flexibility allows families to learn together. Next, have at least an idea of the scope of curriculum. Ano po ang ibig sabihin nito? Ito po ang skills and areas of development na dapat ma-achieve ng ating mga anak according to their grade level. Ito po ang tinatawag ng mga paaralan na learning standards or competencies. The guide question for this is, what does my child need to learn this year? May isang magulang po akong nakausap at ang sabi, hindi siya sigurado kung natututunan ng kanyang anak ang dapat nitong matutunan. So, if parents know the big scope, it will allow you to better guide or prepare the children for individual lessons. You'll also understand the purpose behind the learning activities and to take advantage of real-world applications. Schools basically follow a certain curriculum. First, Teachers make sure that lessons are taught in progression and they know the ways to lay foundations of understanding before moving to the next objective. That's why it's very important that students attend regularly their online classes. If parents at least understand the process, it is easier to guide their children in achieving the grade level expectations. For example, in the fourth grade, students learn to master multiplication of several digits. Help the children first to learn the mechanics of multiplication, then introduce ways they can use the new skills in real life, like by maybe taking them to a store using the multi digit math experiences. Number five, set goals. Why? If parents and guardians know the goal, they can find alternative learning opportunities to get to that end. And they can evaluate if their child actually can do it when they are done. I encourage you to frame goals with an I can sentence stem format. For example, instead of I can understand equivalent fractions, students can say or write, I can find four equivalent fractions for 1/2, 3/4, and so on. Having specific outcomes in mind can help families develop lessons that serve the learning goals. In addition, clear and measurable goals will make assessment easier for parents and guardians. Ganito po actually ang ginagawa ng mga teachers kapag nagtuturo sa school. In fact, sa umpisa pa lang ng lesson ay dapat alam na ng bata kung ano ang goal for the day. Sinusulat pa ito ng mga guro sa board para malinaw sa estudyante. Research shows that students benefit from knowing the goal of the learning. Parents and guardians can share the end objectives with students as well. The goals will keep both you and your child on track throughout the school year. Make a list and probably divide it into short and long-term goals. Then revisit the list on a regular basis during your weekly organizational sessions, for instance, to evaluate and adjust the goals if necessary.